a senior reporter at SC Magazine. And today I'm here with John Vigouroux, CEO of M86 Security, and we're talking about the threat landscape. Hi, John.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good to be here, thanks.
Good. So M86 is going to be putting out a market research report in a few weeks. And one of the interesting findings that you had told me about earlier is that there's a difference between how secure organizations think they are and how secure they really are.
Right.
So can you tell me a little bit about the difference there and what's up with that?
Sure. We found both from the research and from speaking with customers that in general, within their own industry, about 80% or more feel that they're either as protected as anyone else or better than others within their own industry. That, of course, coincides a little bit with the findings that we're finding that from a global impact of malware. Our recent studies have shown that malware, the cost of malware, cybercrime, in other words, the amount of money made off of malware, has grown from roughly in 2007, roughly about $20 billion industry to over $100 billion today, and with no let up in growth in sight. And so that's juxtaposed to folks feeling they're safe versus what we're seeing from a statistical standpoint, the actual impact of malware globally.
So everyone thinks that they're safer than their peers.
Well, it's a twofold. There's an industry perception that if you use certain our products, the security as a whole, versus the fact is what are folks actually making off of that impact. If we do believe that last year alone, millions, hundreds of millions of consumers and millions of businesses worldwide lost hundreds of billions of dollars to cybercrime, that's a global calamity. If in fact then if you talk to the recent research we've done and finding where they feel that they are safe, then there's a real mixed message. So what's the industry saying versus what's actually happening in terms of cybercrime?
Right, and the cybercrime industry is expected to grow to over 200 billion in 2012. Is that correct?
Well, there are stats that show it growing even faster than that.
Right.
But very conservatively, we would think it's at least a couple hundred billion.
So, and at the same time, you mentioned that there's this global calamity. Can you talk a little bit more about that? And I understand, from your perspective at M86, part of the issue is that traditional security technologies are losing effectiveness. And this is something that we've heard anecdotally before, but, can you kind of quantify it or go into a little bit more detail about that?
Sure. So if you look at the common strategies used around the world for combating malware, right? 92% of all malware happens on the web. Bad guys are lazy. They'll go where the folks are. Traditional ways of protecting yourself are firewalls, antivirus, URL filtering, some type of reputational database. I would say firewalls are great products, do a lot of great things for application control, but it's a 2,000-year-old strategy of encircling what you need to protect, putting guards, gates and cannons at the front gate and protecting yourself. So not doing so well with the hundreds of billions of dollars. Antivirus is a 20-year-old strategy of matching signatures against other signatures. And that's not doing so well either. And insurance is just not a strategy. It's more of a few years, 5-6 years ago, it was more of a risk factor that you could protect yourself 96-97% with just normal means, and then whatever piece that you're not covered on, you could take insurance on. If we look at the real, the one most used today, which would be antivirus or URL filtering, traditionally, it used to block up until a few years ago roughly 97-98% of all bad stuff. Today we believe we've done our own research, we've other research that we think combined. They're missing roughly 60% of all malwares getting through. And the basic nature of that is really because it's database driven,
right.
Signature driven, which means that someone has to find a piece of malware on the web, in the wild, find it, make a signature of it, upload it to the enterprise or wherever, download it to the end user, and in which case, most users at best update their signatures once a day, perhaps, once a week, depending on family members. But that's it. Today we're seeing malware with these sophisticated toolkits that you can buy, dozens and dozens and dozens over the web. They're doing targeted, straight attacks that are happening in real time. And I don't mean real time as in real time over the course of a couple of days. Probably 52% of all malware is dead within a day. They're talking real attacks. And so we know if we're launching an attack today against you right now, and if this is brand new malware, anything that has a database to protect you from is not going to stop it.
Right.
And that's the thing. We've seen these toolkits propagate all over the world. They're very easy to get on. It's not just the very sophisticated crime organizations doing it, but it could be just about anyone. So you're up and running. You're doing targeted attacks at small, medium, and large businesses, and traditional means of protecting yourself just isn't cutting it.
Yep, and the gap is widening. Well, John, thanks for going over the threat landscape.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having us.
And thanks to you for watching. Have a great day.